The Toronto Blue Jays have signed fireballer Julian Fernandez to a minor league deal. He has a fastball that can reach about 102 miles an hour, which will definitely play in the Blue Jays bullpen. We also got some trade speculation coming out of San Diego, which we'll break down on this episode of Jays Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. A lot to get into today. We want to thank you all for the support. It's been unbelievable. Keep voicing your opinions in the comments section. We love to have interaction with all you guys. So keep that up, and we couldn't be more thankful for all of you.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Road to 6K subscribers. So hit the subscribe button if you enjoy daily content. But let's just get right into the first topic of the video, which, like you mentioned, the Blue Jays sign a hidden gem fireballer, Julian Fernandez. And we have a lot of stuff to show you. We have some screenshots. We have some videos of him pitching. So let's just get right into the first screenshot, which came out yesterday around 6 p.m., 4:30 Eastern. Blue Jays are signing hard-throwing right-handed pitcher Julian Fernandez to a minor league deal per source. 27-year-old reliever spent 22 at AAA Albuquerque and battled home run issues. Pitched in the majors for the 21 Rockies, averaging 99 miles an hour, topped out at 103, and recently pitched in the Dominican Winter League. And he said, here's a look at Julian Fernandez throwing 102 past Dansby Swanson. The velocity is intriguing, and Jays will look to establish more consistency with Fernandez. In the meantime, low-risk move that doesn't cost the 40-man spot, and I'll show you him throwing at 102 in a few minutes. But, Peter, what are your thoughts on the signing as a whole? Because Jays Land was actually pretty excited about this. We finally have a fireballer, even he's in the minor leagues right now.
We've been lobbying for it the entire offseason. We need a guy that throws absolute gas coming out of the bullpen. Now, whether or not Julian Fernandez can be that reliable bullpen piece that we need, I mean, that remains to be seen. But the peripherals are all there. The guy's 6'6", 233 pounds. He throws 99 on average, which is in the top percentile of all Major League Baseball in fastball velocity. So whether he figures it out or not remains to be seen, but it's definitely a welcomed addition and low risk move. I mean, it doesn't hurt, especially that it doesn't cost a 40-man spot.
Yeah, and I saw a few people on Yankees Twitter saying they wanted to hit them to go after him. But a few more screenshots here. This is from Thomas Hall, Blue Jays writer. He says, if, and that's a major if, Julian Fernandez's command improves significantly next season, you'll see him pitching for the Blue Jays in 2023. And here's the last screenshot before we show you some videos. This is his StatCast from 2021, the last time he pitched in the majors. 99 average on the fastball, and he has a nasty changeup too. 99 percentile velocity, great spin, great extension. He's just battled the home run command. But let's show you some clips here. I got one clip. It's around 15 seconds. That shows you 3 pitches, and they're all fastballs. And I don't know. We don't have anyone like this in the bullpen. The closest thing we have is Jordan Romano, but he doesn't even throw as fast as Julian Fernandez. And you can just see he's just overpowering people with his fastball. And then he strikes out Dansby Swanson. Go ahead. Yeah, look at this. Ooh.
Yeah, there's Nate Pearson as well, but
Yeah.
even then, that's an unknown commodity that you have in your organization, and you're not exactly sure what he can provide for you. Now, I think the main issue with Julian Fernandez is obviously his command. So that's what he's going to have to work on in the minor leagues if he does want to crack the big league roster. But you can't just throw fastballs in the majors either, because these are the best hitters in the world and some of the best athletes in the world. And sooner or later, they'll time you up if you're throwing 99 every single pitch. So yes, he's got a good changeup, but I'm sure the majority of his home runs are coming off those changeups that he's hanging over the middle of the plate. So he's got to figure out that command and really hone in that secondary pitch to be effective out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and hopefully they see something they can fix because they weren't really able to do it for Julian Merriweather. You know, similar type of pitcher. Obviously, Fernandez is a bit bigger, throws a bit faster. I think Merriweather topped out at like 100, 101. Fernandez is up to 102, 103, which is unbelievable to even think about. I don't know. It's a very low risk, high reward move, and maybe we'll see him later on in the season just going to work. And I'll show you one more time his pitches before I move on. It's unbelievable.
Nasty.
Yeah, it's so fast, and having someone like him, they're super hard. And like people say, you cannot have enough fireballers, even just in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
As he strikes out Dansby Swanson 102, just blew him away. So if he can figure out the command,
Mm-hmm.
get a better changeup, he'd be great. But do you have any final thoughts on that before we move on? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the main issue with Julian Merriweather is that, yeah, he throws hard, but his fastball is straight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't tail, it doesn't cut. It's just straight, and you know it's coming because then again, he doesn't have great secondary pitches, and you can't just rely on the cheese in the major league level. You gotta be a pitcher, not just a thrower.
Yeah, completely agree. And we'll see what happens. And maybe he'll take over Merriweather's spot and be what Merriweather was supposed to be. Let's move into the second topic, which is a potential Blue Jays target. Now, I don't know how realistic this is going to be, but we'll see. And here's the first screenshot here. Padres are open to trade offers on Trent Grisham and Ha-Seong Kim. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but I don't know. The main person here we're thinking about is Kim because obviously he's an infielder. We already have enough outfielders, and while Trent Grisham would have been good a week ago, we obviously traded for Varsho. So do you have any thoughts on him? And I'll also pop up one more screenshot. This is from Damon. Trent Grisham feels like a major breakup candidate, very similar profile to that of Dalton Varsho, elite center fielder with power at the plate. So obviously we probably won't be going for Grisham. Maybe they do, but I guess Kim is kind of the more intriguing option here. Do you have any thoughts on maybe swinging a prospect package for him?
Kim is unbelievable defensively. Now, let me put this into perspective for you. He's like very similar to Dalton Varsho, like in infield wise. So he has a 5.1 WAR in 2022.
Perfect.
Sorry,
Yeah.
5.1 WAR for a guy that hit 251 with 11 home runs. Now, those don't jump out to you, but where are all those wins above replacement coming from? It's from his elite defense in at shortstop, and he's probably one of the big reasons why the Padres were able to make such a great run, as well as Manny Machado's brilliance, obviously. But Ha-Seong Kim was super underrated, and he's going to be the second baseman now for the Padres if they hang on to him, and he's signed to a pretty team friendly deal as well. So man, the guy's good. Very underrated player.
Yeah, and I'll pop up his baseball savant here, and you're right, 95 percentile outs above average, solid hitter as well, nothing to scoff at. Now he would, replace Espinal, and obviously he's a bit, higher level than Espinal last year. Though I don't know, I believe a tweet saying that the Padres are looking for major league starting pitching in exchange for him, which we don't really necessarily have to give. That being said, if they're looking for some prospects, maybe Espinal plus some prospects, that could maybe work. Who knows? It was something to think about. But like you said, he would be if we had him at second base, our infield would just be even better. Our defense would be even better. He could teach Bo, I'm sure, some things as well. So I don't know. It would be if I'm the Jays, I think very hard about it and see what it would take. But if it's just a starting pitcher, then we don't really have too much leverage there. I guess we're not going to trade any of our main starting pitchers right now because we need them.
I'd put him at shortstop if the Blue Jays acquired him.
And
I
Bo
mean, he's
second, yeah.
that good defensively, and it's not a knock on Bo. I think he's going to make a stride in 2023, and he's going to become a better defender than he was last season. But man, if you get a guy like Ha-Seong Kim, the guy is an elite defensive shortstop and like 95th percentile outs above average. To put into perspective, Bo's percentile is sixth. It's sixth percentile. Now he was one of the weaker defensive shortstops. No one is doubting his offensive talent, but if you can move Bo to second base and have him just solely focus on hitting, I think that'll skyrocket his value as a player as well. And he won't have to worry about the defensive aspect of being a shortstop because it takes a toll on you. Like mentally, it's draining, and you got to play both sides of the ball. You got to have a short term memory if you're a shortstop in the major leagues.
Yeah, and I don't want to, put Espinal to the side fully. Because I know in our last video, some people were saying that we were too quick to trade him. It's just there's not a huge, and especially if we're going for Kim, there's not a huge fit for Espinal right now. Besides, I guess, the everyday second baseman alongside Whit Merrifield. So I don't know. We might have a video coming up on that soon regarding Espinal's fit. Do you have any quick thoughts on Espinal's fit on the team going forward? Just to touch on that, the people in the comments who were saying to not trade him because he is a Gold Glover or candidate.
Well, I don't think he's the odd man out here. I still think he's going to play quite a bit if the
Yep,
Jays hang on
definitely.
to him. He can play third base, shortstop, second base. Like I think he's the only guy on the team that can actually do that and that you would trust to do that. Obviously, you have Relvis Martinez on the 40-man roster. You
Otto
have Addison
Lopez.
Barger on the 40-man roster. Otto Lopez as well. But do you trust those guys over Espinal? I wouldn't personally. And that's where his value comes in. He's great defensively wherever you decide to put him. And he filled in great at third base before the Jays got Matt Chapman. He's serviceable at shortstop. It's just his arm strength that's put into question. But I feel confident putting him anywhere around the diamond, even in a spot start in the outfield. So I think that's where his value comes in. And unless you're getting a direct replacement for Espinal or someone that makes your team significantly better for Espinal, then I wouldn't be so quick to trade him.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe a bullpen piece is the only thing that might make sense now, but who knows if that'll
Exactly.
happen. But move on to the final topic, and we heard about this a little bit. Peter, you sent me this. Jay's, maybe a little bit disrespected here, and I'll let you vent your opinion on this, Peter. I'm gonna pop up a graphic that was posted. MLB.com's 2023 AL Award predictions: MVP Jose Ramirez, Cy Young Christian Javier, Manager of the Year Alex Cora, Rookie of the Year Gunnar Henderson. So, not necessarily disrespected per se, but there's no Blue Jays there. Do you have any, Jays you would have liked to see there, or like any sleeper picks that you may have?
I actually like this list. I like all the names on there except for the manager of the year, because when you win manager of the year, that implies that your team's going to be good. And I think the Red Sox are going to be last place in the AL East. Now, whoever predicted this seems to think that the Red Sox are going to win 90 plus games because that's what it takes to win manager of the year. So I just totally found that weird. I had no idea what those writers were thinking. I like Gunnar Henderson as the rookie of the year.
Agreed.
I think Jose Ramirez is a top 10 player in the major leagues, and that might even be underrating how good he is. He's an amazing player. He just doesn't get the notoriety because he plays in Cleveland. And Christian Javier, I mean, we saw what he did in the playoffs. The guy was an electric for the Houston Astros. So I don't have a problem with those picks except for Alex Cora, and the reason why I sent it to you is because they're in our division, and that's why I have a problem with it.
Yeah, and I guess it's more of a I'll have a sleeper pick. I can honestly see maybe John Snyder winning Manager of the Year next year. First full
Okay,
year,
I
maybe
like
if they
that.
go well. And MVP, I don't really disagree with any of the other ones. I think Gunner's probably going to win it. MVP, maybe we get
Shohei, I think Shohei's the
yeah,
clear pick there.
but maybe they're
But
trying to be
Jose
different.
Ramirez, I could see him swooping. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's trying to be different. Everyone's always trying to dethrone the king. Stop doing that. Shohei's the king.
Maybe Alek Manoah will sneak in for a Cy Young award winning this year because
Maybe.
there's a lot of rankings that we're gonna be reacting to soon that sleep on him heavily. But that'll wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll have some more videos coming up soon, some more interesting ones. It's an interesting time of the off season. There's not too much going on, so we'll come up with some creative stuff, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks.